The ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia has drawn the attention of the world, with America playing a significant role in supporting Ukraine. Beyond the sanctions and diplomatic efforts, America has been instrumental in providing Ukraine with the necessary military support, especially in supplying critical weapons systems. This support is not just about delivering arms, it's about empowering Ukraine to defend its sovereignty and push back against aggression. In this video, we will explore the strategic partnership between the United States and Ukraine, focusing on how America has become a key supplier of Ukraine's most important weaponry, and the implications of this relationship on the global stage. To understand America's role in supplying Ukraine with its most vital weapons, it's essential to look back at the historical context. Ukraine's relationship with Russia has been fraught with tension since the dissolution of the Soviet Union. The annexation of Crimea by Russia in 2014 marked a turning point, leading to increased military engagements in eastern Ukraine. The United States, recognizing the strategic importance of Ukraine as a buffer between Russia and the West, began to provide military aid to Kyiv. This support, initially limited to non-lethal aid such as medical supplies and body armor, gradually expanded as the conflict intensified. By 2021, the U.S. had committed over $2.5 billion in security assistance to Ukraine. The nature of U.S. military aid to Ukraine has evolved over the years, from providing basic supplies to delivering advanced weapons systems. The turning point came in 2018 when the Trump administration approved the sale of Javelin anti-tank missiles to Ukraine. This decision marked a significant escalation in U.S. military support, providing Ukraine with a weapon that could effectively counter Russian armored vehicles. The Javelin missile system became a symbol of American support, not just because of its capabilities but also due to its psychological impact. The presence of these missiles in Ukraine's arsenal sent a clear message to Moscow: the U.S. was committed to helping Ukraine defend itself. America's support for Ukraine is not limited to the Javelin missiles. The U.S. has provided a wide range of weapons systems, including artillery, drones, and air defense systems. These weapons are critical for Ukraine to maintain its territorial integrity and repel Russian advances. One of the most significant contributions has been the supply of M777 howitzers, which have played a crucial role in countering Russian artillery. The U.S. has also provided HIMARS, high-mobility artillery rocket systems, which have given Ukraine the ability to strike deep behind enemy lines with precision. Drones, particularly the Turkish-made Bayraktar TB2, have also become a vital asset for Ukraine. While not directly supplied by the U.S., American support in terms of intelligence and training has been crucial in integrating these drones into Ukraine's military strategy. The weapons provided by the United States have not only strengthened Ukraine's military capabilities but have also shifted the balance of power in the region. American weaponry has enabled Ukraine to conduct more effective operations, targeting key Russian assets and infrastructure. The precision and range of U.S.-supplied weapons have allowed Ukraine to disrupt Russian supply lines, degrade their command and control centers, and slow their advances. The psychological impact of American support cannot be understated. The presence of U.S. weapons on the battlefield boosts the morale of Ukrainian forces and signals to Russia that they are not facing a weak, isolated opponent. It also serves as a deterrent, indicating that any escalation by Russia could lead to even greater U.S. involvement. Providing weapons is only part of the equation. For these weapons to be effective, Ukrainian forces must be trained to use them properly. The U.S. has been deeply involved in training Ukrainian soldiers, both in Ukraine and at bases in Europe. This training covers not only the operation of specific weapons systems but also broader aspects of modern warfare, including combined arms tactics, logistics, and cyber warfare. The integration of U.S. weapons into Ukraine's military has been a complex process, requiring careful coordination and adaptation. Ukrainian forces have had to learn how to incorporate these new capabilities into their existing strategies while dealing with the challenges of maintaining and supplying advanced equipment. The success of this integration has been evident on the battlefield, where Ukrainian forces have effectively used American weapons to achieve key objectives. The ability to rapidly adapt and incorporate new technologies has been a testament to the professionalism and resilience of Ukraine's military. While the U.S. has been the most prominent supplier of weapons to Ukraine, it has not acted alone. NATO, as a collective security organization, has played a crucial role in coordinating and supporting Ukraine's defense efforts. Many NATO members have contributed to arming Ukraine, often working in tandem with U.S. efforts. The provision of weapons by NATO countries has strengthened the alliance's unity and resolve in the face of Russian aggression. It has also demonstrated the effectiveness of collective defense, where the security of one member is linked to the security of all. For Ukraine, the support of NATO has been vital in building a more capable and resilient military. The integration of NATO standard weapons and equipment has brought Ukraine closer to the alliance, both in terms of military interoperability and political alignment. The supply of weapons to Ukraine is not just a military issue, it has significant economic and political dimensions as well. The U.S. defense industry has been a major beneficiary of the increased demand for weapons, with contracts for arms sales to Ukraine boosting the profits of key defense contractors. Politically, the provision of weapons to Ukraine has been a point of contention in Washington. While there is broad bipartisan support for aiding Ukraine, there are differing views on the extent and nature of that support. Some argue for a more robust military aid package, while others caution against escalating the conflict. Internationally, America's support for Ukraine has bolstered its reputation as a defender of democracy and a counterbalance to Russian aggression. However, it has also strained relations with countries that have closer ties to Moscow, leading to a complex web of diplomatic challenges. While the provision of weapons to Ukraine is often discussed in terms of strategy and geopolitics, it's important to remember the human cost of the conflict. The war in Ukraine has resulted in significant loss of life, displacement, and suffering for millions of people. The weapons supplied by the U.S. and its allies have undoubtedly helped Ukraine defend itself, but they have also contributed to the escalation of the conflict. The use of advanced weaponry has led to more intense and destructive battles, with civilians often caught in the crossfire. For many Ukrainians, the support from America is seen as a lifeline, providing the means to defend their homes and families. However, the ongoing conflict also raises difficult questions about the long-term impact of the war on Ukraine and its people. Looking ahead, the future of U.S. Ukraine military cooperation will likely be shaped by the outcome of the current conflict and the evolving geopolitical landscape. If Ukraine can successfully push back Russian forces and regain control of its territory, it will be in large part due to the support provided by America and its allies. However, the relationship between the U.S. and Ukraine will need to adapt to the changing realities on the ground. Continued military support will be essential, but there will also be a need for reconstruction, economic assistance, and long-term security guarantees. For the U.S., the lessons learned from supporting Ukraine will have broader implications for its foreign policy and defense strategy. The conflict has highlighted the importance of military preparedness, alliances, and the need to respond to emerging threats in a rapidly changing world.